Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Happy Thursday, the day before Friday, and I'm sure we can't wait for Friday to get here, right? And no sooner than Friday get here, our Saturday will come, and then it'll be Sunday, and we'll be right back to Monday through Friday. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting here making a necklace. Well, I'm getting ready to make a necklace, and the idea is to make a big, nice, chunky necklace using these turquoise howlite beads. So what I did though is I wrapped them in wire, put some little decoration on them. I have no idea what this is gonna come out looking like. So I do have one more bead I want to wrap real quick. So I'm gonna take a little bit of wire. Well, Darlene, how much is a little bit? Y'all already know I don't be measuring, but I'm gonna do this for you. So that's one. I cut about 11.5 inches. Let me see. About 11.5 inches of wire. I think that looks about right. Yeah, about 11 inches of wire. So that's what I'm going to do. And it might even be, well, you know, it's never too much, but so I'm going to just bead it. Bead the bead. And just take the end of the wire, of course, wrap it around like if I'm making an earring. And then wrap it some. Bring that bead back right there. And then I'm going to switch it over and then wrap this in. Just grab it with my pliers like so. And then make a big enough hoop. Twist that wire over. And then wrap. Like so. So now I have hoops on both ends. So I'm going to just take the wire and start wrapping the wire around the bead like this. It'll get me to the other side, and then I'll just wrap the wire around that other side. Make sure we close it down all nice and neat. I hope everybody is doing well. After I put that video up yesterday, just having a little conversation, I got a couple of emails. So one of the emails, whoever the person was, she was just kind of really rude and disrespectful in a way, right? And I dismissed her, you know, like I always do. And my whole thing is our personalities and just who we are as individuals. You know, everybody may not match well with us, and you just have to be okay with that. Okay, just have to be okay with that. And like I mentioned to her, if the Facebook group, or if the YouTube channel is not working for you, you know, there are other channels and stuff. I appreciate you being here and would love for you to hang around. But if it's not working for you, it's just not working for you. You know, that's the beautiful thing about freedom. You know, that's the beautiful thing about having our own minds. Do what we want to do within reason, when we want to do it, if we want to do it. You know, that's the whole beautiful thing about being an adult. And that's the whole beautiful thing about YouTube and Facebook and all these other platforms. There's a whole lot of people doing a whole lot of things. And, you know, you could just pick and choose. And then I had another lady that was saying that I had removed her post from inside of the group. And I never remove people's posts. I mean, that's not something that I do. Now, if something comes up and it's spam and it's selly, you know, like you're trying to sell 2 for 1, 3 to 1, all this other kind of stuff, you know, that's stuff I will remove because, you know, like I said before, that's not what the group is all about. So in the same email, the lady says, well, she said, well, you mentioned something about, I could hear her tone too. She said, well, you mentioned something about us not trying to milk each other, right? And I knew where she was going with that one. about not milking each other. Well, I'm not trying to milk anybody. And if you're talking about beads, you know, that's because people ask for the beads. You know, if you're talking about the digital magazine, you know, that's just me being innovative to market my own product. So if you're interested in being a part of the way that I market my product, you are welcome to be a part of that. However, if you're not interested in being a part of the way that I market my product, then that's okay. I'm going to still market my product by way of that digital magazine, by way of my email blast, by way of YouTube. And I think I said that in the video. I'm not just sitting here making jewelry just to be sitting on top of jewelry for jewelry to be collecting dust. That's not my goal. You know, especially when you know that you have a really good product. If you got a really good product, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it. You know, and it takes time. You got to put the time in. It's like a baby, like a brand new baby. Brand new babies require time. All hours of the morning, all hours of the night. That is the same way it goes for your business if that is what you are trying to do. But I could just tell by, you know, her tone and the things that she was saying. You know, she not on the same she not with us. So and that's okay. You know, and that's okay. So what I'm doing now, I'm just running off at the mouth. My wire, by the time I finish with this should either be an 18-inch or a 20-inch. So I'll cut my wire. So what I'm going to do now, because I want to make it like a charm type necklace. And I want all these hanging down there. And then I'm going to use my color wash black beads. So I'm going to use that. And I think we had talked about that a couple of times. You have to find ways, you know, to get your, to build brand and product awareness. So let me see. I might just do, because I want it to be like a, well, I kind of like that. Let me see how it's going to turn out. So I got 4 on here. And I might bump it down to just 3. So let me do this. So we got that. So I can see what it's going to look like. And then what I want to do, I'm going to take my little wire spacers and put one on this side. And then I think I'm going to use a different color. So I'm going to use this color on the other side. And then let me see how it hangs. So the idea is for it to give this real funky type. And I do like the way that looks. Just a real funky type look. So that's what I'm going for as the pendant. And then let me see something else. If I want to put a couple more colors, like maybe. And then what we doing, we just kind of feeling our way through right here. Let me see what other color I got. So let's try this, because, oh yeah, definitely. Because that's what I'm going for. Just something really funky and unusual and very different. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use probably 2 different beads, because I do know that I don't have enough of these color beads, and that's okay. So we're going to try something out here and then see what it looks like. And if it don't look like what I think it's going to look like, guess what? We're going to cut this video off and I'm going to figure something else out. Okay? That's all there is. There ain't no more. So I'm going to try this. And I did want to use, shoot, I already like that. You better stop playing. You better stop it. Okay? That's really nice. So this one is going to go on Fair. And then that little marketplace starts on Saturday. I mean, I think this coming up Monday. So I like that. And then let me see. I got a couple more of these beads, the black beads, color wash. So I got enough to put, let me see, maybe 6 on each side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I think so. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, maybe 8 on each side. But we'll check it out and we'll see. Okay, so we got 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Oh, I can put looks like I got enough to put. Let me see, one more on that side. One more on this side. And then I only got one more of the big color wash bead. Oh no, look, I got 2. Those are black. So I could put one more on each side. And then let's see what we got. And see, I like that. It's different. Very different. Shoot, I've been and kept this one for myself, right? Had my hair all over my head. Shoot, or maybe even a nice little not multicolor, but black and this color, black and beige or something type wrap on my head. This is really nice. I like this like this. But what I was thinking, let me see something. Let me see if I want to do this or not. Because I really don't have enough of the oh, but what I do have is, you know what? I have, let's see, some of the smaller beads, but that I don't think I like that. I was thinking to put some of these brown ones on here too. Let me see, because I do got some of the brown ones. I don't know if that's going to match really good or not, but we're going to check this out and see. And that's what makes the piece different, you know. All these different colors just married together. So I'm going to try these and see. I like it already. So that's like 4. Let me put a couple more. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm going just like I'm gonna do it just like this. Oh, and let me check something. I'm gonna probably be out of the frame because I want to measure it. So I'm not gonna be with you. Yeah, that'll make it about 20 inches, and then it'll make it about 24 with the pendant. So if I wrap it off now, oh, I like this. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a small, one of these 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter beads on the end of it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it some color. That's the color of those spacers down there. So I'm gonna just put one of the, and because the beads, these 25 millimeter beads, they have a pretty big hole on the end. So I'm gonna use a small bead. This is bent on the end right there, so I gotta cut it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna match the ends of the wire together, and I'm gonna cut both of it, both wires, because it'll come out uneven. So I'm gonna just clip it right about here because I need them straight for the bead to go on. So we're gonna put that color on that side, and then because we do have like this kind of like an orangish rush color, we're gonna put that one on this side. And then that, if you can see, closes off the hole because it's a big, you know how these beads are, see that big old hole? So I put the small bead to give it, close it off. All right, so let's cap this baby, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do. So this side, I'm gonna just bend it with my finger to close it off so I can close the other side. And then I'll come back to it. So that's closed off. And then all I'm gonna do is take my fingers, roll it over. And some people use their pliers, you know, and that's cool if that's what you like to do. Use your pliers by all means. Do whatever works for you. And I think I said that in the other video. Whatever works for you, it works for you. You know, nobody has to be doing exactly, you know, what I'm talking about. And like I said, I just be providing resources and, you know, whatever that is, I'm providing at the time I'm providing it. So I'm going to take this, and I do want this to just be a little loose at the top right there, because it'll give it a nice little look. So I'm not going to wrap it too tight. And then I'm going to just take it up, meaning the wire up, and then wrap it. And I'm going to use all this wire to close this off. And then I'm going to take my pliers and then take that piece of wire that's right there and then just roll it. And roll it inside the open part and close it down. And I don't want to feel anything, and I don't. Feel something right there, and that is okay. You shouldn't feel anything, so I don't feel anything there. So what I'm gonna do, oh, I like this. I see, I kept this one for myself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the other side and I'm gonna unwrap it, because remember I just closed it off so the beads wouldn't come off. So I'm gonna roll it. My 2 fingers, I'm gonna hold it, wrap the wire. And wire is fussy sometimes, but it's friendly. So I'm gonna take it around like this, take it around the bottom of the bead right here. And I want it just a little bit loose. I don't want it too tight, because I want to give it just a certain type of look right here. You can see that. And then I'm going to just wrap it again right here. And you can see what it looks like right here. And then I'm going to take the wire up and wrap it around that hoop. Like so. And I'm going to use all the wire. And it comes out looking like this. That's what I want the top of it to look like. Just a nice little pretty, and it adds a nice little personality, gives it character. So this part, I'm gonna take my pliers, and then that little part that's sticking out, let's see if you can see that, right there. So I'm gonna take that, and then I'm gonna I like to roll the end of it, and then I roll it inside of the hoop. And I do that because it hides it in there, and then you can tuck it by pushing it down like that, and you don't feel anything, because it's literally, the end of that wire is literally rolled, and then it's tucked inside. Okay, so we got this, and then you'll find that sometimes it gets a little tight when you close it off. So you can always loosen it up by pushing the bead up just a little bit, not a whole lot, because it will, let me see something. Where's my big jump rings at? Oh, right here. Oh, and then I'm going to use these for something too. Probably some more of these charm necklaces. And I'm going to just use this jump ring for right now to close it off. And I'm going to come back and put a lobster clasp. I do have other videos that show other necklaces where I actually closed it off with the lobster clasp. But let me grab this. I should have grabbed this before I sat down. Oh, and it's right here behind me. And this meaning for the display. I do like the way this looks. I like the way that looks down here. It's very different. It's very unique. You don't see stuff like this. And see, that's what I try to do with my pieces. I want them to look different. I want them to look unique. I want them to look like something you haven't seen before. And then sometimes you just got to do that. You just got to play with pieces. And let me see some. I really like the way it's just gathered. And then that wire does a lot for it too. So I'm going to probably make some earrings. I have the smaller pieces of this Howlite. So I'm going to probably make a pair of earrings. I'm not going to do that on camera, but I'm going to probably do that off camera. Make a small pair of earrings to match with it. I should have made those before I got on camera. But that's what I'm going to do. Make a small pair of earrings to go with this. Or I might even do something like really dramatic. Make a couple more pair. Do some more of these beads because I don't have any more of these 25 millimeters like this. I don't think I do. I don't. These right here. And then maybe add the wire on the top. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Where's some wire at? And I'm not going to make it like right now. Let me put something on the end of it. So this is just an example of what I'm probably going to do. So maybe put because I don't have any more of these beads right here. So I need to do something. And I'm just use a black one right here. So I might even do something like this for the earring. Let's grab something over here. This probably won't even go on because the wire is, oh, okay, it did. And then maybe just do something like this. This is just a little example of something. Take the end of it, and I like to fold my bottoms down. Shoot, it might even be, nah, I'm gonna do it with, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking, let me do this. So you can get an idea of what I'm talking about for the earrings. I'm not gonna use these. I am gonna do more beads like this because it'll give it a lot more flair. Makes it look a little bit more dramatic. And the beads determine the character of the piece. So if I did something like that, let me see. Let me do one more. So you can, when you look at it, you can literally see what it would look like if it was this type of bead right here. So the black bead really, it doesn't give it drama. It doesn't add the flair. It doesn't, give that look that I want. So I'm gonna put one of these little small beads, 8 millimeter. And then let's just try a different color. Let's see. Gotta make sure that hole is, that's a bigger hole. Let's try this one. The hole is smaller. And then these are just regular black beads. And then let's go with, we'll go with this color. And then let's just throw a bead on here. Let's put a black one. Okay, so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Fold that over, wrap it. And I can use this little piece of wire that I'm cutting off. It will not go to waste because I'm going to make some charms using that wire. Okay. And then my ends, I like to bend my ends down. And then this would be the other earring. So that gives you an idea of what the earrings will look like. So, and I am going to do that. But once I do these beads right here, do some more color wash beads, I'm going to use those color wash beads. And this is what they'll be right here. So I can see how that'll just add, you know, just a lot more flair to it. This is a really nice piece. This is going to go on fair. This is a really, really nice piece. Since I know what these look like, these meaning the charms, I am going to make a couple more necklaces using these Howlite Turquoise because I have a whole bag of them. So I'm going to use these. And then I think what I might do, instead of using 4, I might just use 3. But I like the way this came out because it's different. It's very unique. It's very different. And I be looking at pieces like this, and I've been kept this one for myself, right? Because I really like it. It's very different. Just off the path for a minute. It might have been, oh my God, I think I was in college when I found that bag. But it was a cross the body bag. It was leather. It was that nice, pretty soft leather. And it might have been oh my God, like about the size of a paper. What is that, 8 by 11? So it might have been about an 8 by 11, and it was painted. Whoever the artist was had painted this really pretty tribal type picture on the flap of the bag. And it was like the most unique, beautiful bag you have ever seen. And it was just a crossbody bag. You put it over your, crossbody, and it had a flap, just a leather bag, flimsy little leather bag with the flap, open it, close it. And when I tell you, I wore that bag everywhere. And the reason why I wore it everywhere, because it was different. It was very different. It was very unique. You didn't see anything like it. And I would always get compliments off of that bag too. And do you know, I don't know what happened to that bag. I don't know what happened to it, but I do know that I loved it. I loved it when I first saw it. And I want to say that I bought it at one of the street fairs, and it might have been Adams Avenue Street Fair. And I paid $125 for it because it was hand painted. It was hand painted. It was, 100% leather. It was like the nicest bag you ever wanted to see. And when I say I wore that thing, I wore that thing, and I always wore it because it was pretty. And then for me, it's like unique, different. And if you think about that, you really can't find stuff like that. Like very different, very unique. It's distinctive. It has its own personality. It's not like everybody else's. And then that's the whole thing. I was thinking that yesterday when I was sitting here making some stuff, and I was like, wow, people are not really dressing up, like they used to, because a lot of people are not going into the office. So they really don't have to dress up, not unless they're going to a worship service. They might be going to a concert, some type of special event, conferences, things like that, right? But then if you think about it, you say, okay, well, if the general population is not having to dress up and go places and do these things, who is the next population? The next population of people that do have to dress up, do things, go places, like all this other type of stuff. You think about it, is people that's in the art world, people that are actors, that are, they may be in theaters, they may be at studios, they may be stylists that do it. Like all that, this is a whole different population of people that are considered, or audience or market of people that should be considered, right? So you do have your average everyday people, like, that'll buy whatever they buy, because some people are still, and my niece was telling me that she works for Paychex, one of the bigger payroll companies. And she was saying last week that a lot of people have to now go back into the office after being at home, I think 3 years or so. And then people are burning. They are just hot, okay? They are truly upset. And she was saying, well, like a lot of people have to go back into the office. So a lot of people are going back into the office. A lot of people having to dress up, having to do whatever. But I think even like with that, and work environments have become very, very lax. It's not like it used to be, like where you dress up and you got to have, like really look professional. everything nowadays is like, it ain't even semi-professional or business casual. It's like tennis shoes and jeans with a t-shirt type stuff, right? So then you have to think about, well, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I do know, like, for me, my whole objective now is to reach different markets, different audiences. And I plan to do that by way of the digital magazine. So the digital magazine is literally created to distribute and to build awareness for my product. That is Darlene figuring out a way to build awareness for her product, for her products, right? But if anybody else wants to take advantage of the opportunity is there. So the digital magazine is not created for somebody else to charge people to put their stuff. Oh no, that's not my objective. Because when we die and we go up out of here, guess what? I'm going to stand judgment alone. Just like you going to stand judgment alone, right? So my whole everything is about Darlene. It's about Jewelry by BDK. However, the opportunity is there for others to take advantage of if you want to take advantage of it. If you don't want to take advantage of it, guess what? You do not have to. That's the whole everything about this. You do not have to. You do not have to. And I can't make that any clearer than what I'm making that. Whatever I do, you best and believe I'm doing it for Jewelry by BDK, for Darlene. And it just happens to be a channel or a system or an avenue that others can benefit from as well. That's the whole objective. And the lady, I'm sure it was the lady, she more than likely, I believe she unsubscribed, and that's good. You should have unsubscribed because if this channel is not the channel for you, there are so many other channels, and I'm sure you're a part of those channels. And chances are you probably on their channel trying to cause some ruckus, more than likely. But ma'am, sirs, you know, all that good stuff. And every time your little emails come through and I begin to read it and it got something ignorant in it, you can best believe I'm going to delete you and then I'm going to block you. I don't live my life that way. So, you know, I'm not going to be doing that all through social media with no ignorance. Wrong person, wrong day, wrong life, wrong realm. Okay. So with all that being said, this is the finished product and this is going on fair. And happy Thursday, my people. And thank you, all the new subscribers. You know, thank you for being a part of the Jewelry by BDK community here on YouTube. You can boogie over to Facebook, join the group, Jewelry by BDK Creator Zone. That contest is just about over. So it looks like so far, Miss April is the winner. It looks like only like 4 or 5 people voted. Not very many people voted. I really don't understand why. But it is what it is. So at this point, Miss April is the winner. So if you haven't voted yet and you are in the group, maybe just whoever's, you know, collection you see, you like it, just put their name on there and then we'll just boogie on. And then that's the whole thing with that too. If the contests that are being done are not received well, I'm not going to keep doing them. You know, that's the whole thing. I'm not going to keep doing them. So for me, it don't even make sense if people don't participate, if people don't be involved, if people don't engage. It's like, it's almost like, what's the whole point of the group, right? I love the group. I love the people in the group. I love everything about the group. And then I was going to say this too. This is why people moderate and they control comments and posts. You can't post on a lot of these groups without your post being approved, right? So I'm not trying to get to that point. I like the idea of freedom. I like the idea of people being able to post and do what it is that they're doing, you know, and just kind of loving life in the group. People should have the freedom to be able to do that. But I'm going to tell you this now, there's a couple people that's going to mess it up for everybody. Because there's a couple people every day I go in there and there's stuff and I'm like, okay, hard-headed. You hard-headed, you're not listening, you don't hear what I'm saying. So then I have to delete that. I have to delete this stuff up out of there because it's basically spam. And I'm like, man, they're getting ready to mess it up for everybody else to where I have to put posts on hold so I have to approve it. And I don't have time to be doing all that. Y'all already know that. I'm busy. But then there's hard-headed people that don't listen, that don't pay attention. And I've already removed a couple of people, like blocked them and removed them and all that kind of stuff, right? It's like, and I shouldn't have to do all that. But guess what? There are all kinds, be it in real life or on social media. But the whole everything with this is we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep grooving. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm going to keep making beautiful jewelry just like y'all are. And I'm going to keep finding avenues and creating ways to build brand awareness for my product. And if you're trying to come along with it, you're welcome to do that. Darlene Knight for Jewelry by BDK. And guess what, folks? We'll talk.